Angel Reese wanted greatness in Chicago. But what if the player demanding a roster overhaul is the very reason her team keeps sinking? From turnovers to locker room drama, Reese's story collides head-on with Caitlin Clark's rise. Two young stars to opposite paths. One question: who's the real franchise cornerstone? Angel Reese didn't just arrive in the WNBA, she exploded onto the scene at LSU. She became a household name after leading the Tigers to the 2023 NCAA championship, famously taunting Caitlin Clark in the final moments. Her mix of charisma, confidence, and unapologetic trash talk earned her the nickname Bayou Barbie and millions of followers on social media. The Chicago Sky saw more than just a rookie, they saw a potential franchise centerpiece. Drafted 7th overall in 2024, Reese was marketed as the new face of a rebuilding team. Billboards, merchandise, and highlight reels painted her as the next great WNBA star. Fans expected dominance. The Sky expected leadership. Statistically, she gave glimpses of star potential. Reese averaged about 14.5 points and 11.6 rebounds per game. Becoming one of the league's best rebounders, she posted double-doubles in over half her games, showing hustle and toughness. But numbers told another story. 101 turnovers in 26 games, the highest in the WNBA. That's nearly 4 per game, often wiping away her hard-earned boards. Then came the discipline issues. Reese collected 8 technical fouls, leading to an automatic suspension, the first rookie to hit that mark in years. The bigger problem: Chicago Sky's overall record. A brutal 10-30 season, near the bottom of the standings, erased any illusions that Reese's arrival would fix everything. Instead of being the savior, Reese became the storm. The breaking point came not from her stats, but her words. In an interview with the Chicago Tribune, Reese didn't hold back. "We need great players. That's non-negotiable. I want to win, and this roster isn't enough." With that, the Bayou Barbie turned into the league's most polarizing figure overnight. When Angel Reese sat down with the Chicago Tribune, most expected the usual rookie reflections: excitement, lessons learned, hope for next year. Instead, what came out sounded like a veteran star laying down ultimatums. She told reporters bluntly, "We need great players. That's non-negotiable. I want to win. I didn't come here to lose." Those 25 words landed like a grenade in the Sky locker room. To fans, it read like ambition. To her teammates, it felt like betrayal. The problem wasn't just what she said, it was the timing. Chicago had just wrapped a painful season where veterans like Courtney Vandersloot carried the locker room's emotional weight, while rookies like Reese and Hailey Van Lith were still finding their place. Reese's public call-out suggested that her teammates weren't great players. That stung. Front Office Sports later reported that a closed-door team meeting was held to address Reese's comments. Several veterans confronted her, asking why she'd take locker room frustrations to the media instead of handling them internally. Courtney Vandersloot, a respected veteran and former WNBA champion, reportedly felt blindsided. For someone who had spent over a decade in the league earning respect, being casually lumped into a not good enough category by a rookie was insulting. The Chicago Sky front office was suddenly in crisis management mode. Do they back their rookie, who represents the future, or protect locker room chemistry by siding with veterans? Social media lit up immediately. Some fans praised Reese's fire, arguing that holding teammates accountable is what great leaders do. Others saw it as arrogance, the kind of immaturity that fractures teams. It wasn't just about a quote, it was about power. Reese wasn't just a rookie anymore. She was trying to seize control of a franchise with words sharper than any box score. And in doing so, she split her team in two. Behind closed doors, tensions boiled. According to multiple sources, the team meeting became an intervention. Players voiced frustration that Reese had thrown them under the bus publicly. Veterans felt their experience was being dismissed. Younger players worried about being overshadowed by Reese's growing media presence. Courtney Vandersloot, who had sacrificed shots and minutes to mentor rookies, reportedly told Reese, "Respect has to be earned. You don't demand it, you prove it." It was a moment that highlighted the divide between old-school WNBA culture and the new wave of social media stars. Veterans like Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi had built reputations by grinding for years before critiquing teammates. Reese, by contrast, entered the league with no millions, a championship ring, and a viral personality. Hailey Van Lith, her LSU teammate turned Sky rookie, was caught in the middle. She understood Reese's confidence, but also recognized how those comments alienated others. For younger players trying to fit in, Reese's spotlight cast an intimidating shadow. The debate was clear. Was Reese showing leadership by demanding excellence, or immaturity by disrespecting her team? History suggested caution. Every great WNBA leader, whether it was Lisa Leslie, Maya Moore, or Candace Parker, earned credibility through consistency, sacrifice, and elevating teammates. Reese's critics argued she skipped those steps, assuming star privileges before proving star reliability. The result? A fractured locker room. The Sky weren't just losing games, they were losing unity. If Reese's words sparked controversy, her play only added fuel. At first glance, her stats impressed. 14.5 points, 11.6 rebounds per game. Among the top rebounders in the WNBA, but deeper analysis revealed flaws. Inside 9 feet, where Reese takes most of her shots, 20% were blocked, the highest rate for any starting forward. Her finishing lacked polish against elite defenders. Turnovers became her Achilles heel. Reese's 101 turnovers in 26 games meant she gave the ball away nearly 4 times per outing. In comparison, Caitlin Clark, a rookie guard handling the ball far more often, maintained an assist-to-turnover ratio of .2, one of the best among rookies. Discipline was another issue. Reese led the league in technical fouls, 8, triggering an automatic suspension. Her fiery edge, once celebrated in college, turned costly in the pros. Ironically, Chicago sometimes looked freer without her. Stats showed that when Reese was sidelined, the Sky's ball movement improved, averaging 3 more assists per game. Guards had more space. The offense flowed and turnovers dropped. Meanwhile, Indiana Fever, led by Caitlin Clark, were proving what impact a rookie could have. After finishing with just 13 wins in 2023, the Fever surged toward playoff contention in 2024. Clark's passing unlocked Aliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Sophie Cunningham, transforming Indiana from cellar dwellers to contenders. That contrast was glaring. While Reese's presence seemed to tighten her team, Clark's presence lifted hers. The data painted the picture. Reese was a relentless rebounder, but a work-in-progress scorer. She had star potential, but her flaws weren't just hurting her stats, they were dragging down the team's chemistry. And in professional basketball, potential without polish can become a liability. While Reese was making headlines for controversy, Caitlin Clark was making them for consistency. Clark entered the league with even more hype than Reese. Thanks to her record-breaking college career at Iowa, she faced hostile arenas, intense media coverage, and constant comparisons. Yet she handled it with poise. When injuries sidelined her briefly, Clark still traveled with the Fever, sitting courtside to cheer teammates and offering encouragement in huddles. When Reese taunted her publicly, Clark responded with grace, saying, "Angel's a great player. I respect her competitiveness." On the court, Clark's impact was undeniable. She averaged 17.8 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.2 rebounds, one of the most complete rookie stat lines in WNBA history. Her passing not only piled up assists but unlocked stars around her. Aliyah Boston became more efficient. Kelsey Mitchell had career-best scoring stretches. Sophie Cunningham thrived in space. The Fever's culture reflected Clark's presence. In 2023, they finished near the bottom with just 13 wins. By 2024, with Clark at the helm, they pushed into playoff contention. Off the court, the Fever broke attendance records, drawing the largest home crowds in league history. National broadcasts featuring Clark consistently drew over 1 million viewers, numbers unheard of in women's basketball just 2 years ago. Where Reese represented drama, Clark represented stability. Where Reese's words divided her team, Clark's actions united hers. It wasn't just about stats. It was about leadership, maturity, and the ability to carry the weight of a franchise without dropping it. Every WNBA team dreams of drafting a franchise player, someone who defines an era, sells tickets, and wins championships. But what separates a cornerstone from a cautionary tale? Leadership, consistency, the ability to make teammates better. Caitlin Clark checked those boxes early. Angel Reese, not yet. The question is whether Reese is a victim of premature hype or her own missteps. Sports history is full of players crowned to early. Ben Simmons in the NBA, once labeled a generational star, now struggling to find his place. Andrew Wiggins, hyped as the next LeBron, needed nearly a decade to fulfill his potential. Reese could follow one of two paths: grow from adversity into a dominant, respected leader, or let immaturity define her career. The challenge for Chicago is deciding whether to build around her or cut losses early. Is she a cornerstone worth molding, or a liability too costly to manage? The answer may define the Sky's future. Outside the locker room, fans had their own war. Social media exploded into camps. Team Reese versus Team Clark. Reese supporters argue that she brought passion, marketability, and toughness to a league that needs stars. They praise her unapologetic personality as refreshing. Clark fans countered that maturity and professionalism matter more than theatrics. Memes called Reese the baby giraffe and Clark the baby goat. The drama drove ratings. Sky versus Fever matchups became must-see TV, with over 1 million viewers tuning in, some of the highest numbers in WNBA history. Engagement on TikTok and X, formerly Twitter, spiked whenever the rivalry reignited. The league benefited from the spotlight, but Chicago didn't. While Indiana thrived on the Clark effect, the Sky suffered from the Reese distraction. The Indiana Fever's future looks bright, with Caitlin Clark orchestrating the offense, Aliyah Boston anchoring the paint, and Kelsey Mitchell providing veteran scoring. Indiana has quietly assembled one of the best young cores in the WNBA. Add shooters like Sophie Cunningham and the potential of upcoming draft picks, and the Fever are on track to become a perennial playoff team. What makes Indiana's rise even more promising is the synergy between Clark and Boston. Clark's passing has unlocked Boston's dominance inside, forcing defenses into impossible decisions. Double Boston and Clark punishes you with threes, or stay home and let Boston feast one-on-one. That inside-out dynamic is the foundation championship teams are built on. Off the court, the Fever are already seeing the rewards. Home attendance numbers shattered records in 2024, with sellouts becoming routine. Sponsorships and media coverage have followed, giving Indiana the financial stability and national visibility most franchises can only dream of. In short, the Fever aren't just winning games, they're becoming the new face of the league. The Chicago Sky's future, far cloudier. The front office faces a defining choice: double down on Angel Reese, hoping she matures into a reliable leader, or explore trade options that could bring back draft capital and veteran stability. It's a delicate gamble. Reese has undeniable talent and marketability. Her rebounding instincts are elite, and if her scoring efficiency improves, she could become a dominant inside force. The challenge lies in balancing patience with urgency. Can Chicago afford to wait for her growth, or will hesitation set the franchise back even further while rivals continue to surge ahead? But the concerns are equally real. High turnovers, technical fouls, and public spats have already raised red flags for a franchise that's still haunted by the departure of Candace Parker and the decline since their 2021 championship. The Sky can't afford another lost decade. If Reese doesn't evolve by refining her offensive efficiency, improving her decision-making, and embracing accountability, Chicago risks being stuck in the bottom tier, while rivals like Indiana surge ahead, building momentum and fan loyalty. That could leave the Sky struggling to catch up for years. There are whispers already of possible long-term moves. Some league insiders speculate that if Reese doesn't mesh with the Sky's culture, Chicago could shop her for a package of draft picks and veterans, resetting their rebuild. Others argue the front office should bring in a strong veteran presence, perhaps a proven leader like Breanna Stewart or Nika Ogwumike in free agency, to balance Reese's fiery personality and help her grow. Ultimately, everything hinges on Reese's growth. If she learns to channel her passion into discipline, cuts down turnovers, and builds trust with teammates, she could still become the franchise cornerstone Chicago envisioned on draft night. Her star power, combined with maturity, could make her not just a player but a movement. If not, the Sky may face another decade of mediocrity, overshadowed by rivals like the Fever. What's certain is this: the rivalry with Caitlin Clark ensures every step of Reese's journey will be under the spotlight. Every matchup, every quote, every playoff chase will be dissected and compared. For the WNBA, that's gold. Drama, storylines, and ratings. For Chicago, it's pressure. The Fever are building a dynasty. The Sky are fighting to avoid collapse. And at the center of both stories are two rookies whose legacies will define the next decade of women's basketball. The story of Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark is bigger than two rookies. It's the story of where the WNBA is headed. On one hand, Caitlin Clark represents discipline, poise, and the ability to elevate a franchise overnight. She's brought record crowds, playoff contention, and a culture of unselfish basketball that makes teammates better. On the other hand, Angel Reese embodies raw potential, intensity, and the polarizing force of modern sports fame. She's fearless, marketable, and passionate, but with that comes immaturity, turnovers, and locker room drama that can fracture a team's foundation. For the Indiana Fever, the future looks golden. Clark and Aliyah Boston could form one of the most dominant duos in league history. while the team rides a wave of fan support and national attention for the Chicago Sky. The path is far more uncertain. Reese could grow into the cornerstone the franchise desperately needs, or she could become the reason they remain stuck in mediocrity. One thing is clear, this rivalry fuels the league. Reese versus Clark has captured national headlines, shattered viewership records, and sparked debates in every corner of sports media, whether you love them or hate them. You're watching, and that's exactly what the WNBA needs. So, the question is yours. Is Angel Reese the future star who just needs time to mature? Or is Caitlin Clark already the face of a new WNBA era? If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest stories in sports, and drop a comment below. Are you Team Reese or Team Clark?